Hey, welcome to another 31 Days of Horror 2017 Toronto After Dark edition. Yes, we're back with another film from the festival, this time from Australia. And I guess this is UK, maybe? No, I think it's just Australia. It's just Australia. Could be wrong, but I'm just going to check. Yes, it is an Australian film. And that film is called Rabbit. Rabbit. Yeah. Okay, where to start with this one? This falls into, I'd say, a psychological thriller. It is the story of a woman. It's a story of a woman named Maud, who has a vivid dream and decides to return to her home in Adelaide with the idea that she knows where her identical twin sister is. She's missing, and she knows, that it deals with that whole connection between twins, right? When twin feels whatever the other one twin feels what the other twin feels, type thing. That's kind of like the premise here in the story. So she has this connection with her twin, and she gets these visions and feels that she can find her. So she goes on this kind of surreal journey to find out, find her sister, or find out what happened to her sister, that uncovered the mystery of her missing sister. I will get into, I guess, the main players here. It's directed by Luke Shanahan, who's not done anything before. This is his first feature, and I will say right now, kudos to him. Very, very well done. A lot of people involved, oddly enough, though they've done other works, small, they're nothing you've really ever heard of. They may have worked in departments on bigger films, but in terms of the roles that they played in this, it was not necessarily, they weren't really, it wasn't something that they did a lot of. And that's true with the cinematographer, Anna Howard, who makes the film is beautiful. It's dreamlike when it needs to be dreamlike, surreal when it needs to be surreal, vivid when it needs to be vivid, subdued when it needs, it's just very, very wide palette of visuals, and I'm not talking like we're going on trippy things here. No, I'm talking about just the way she manages to make the camera and the lighting portray almost like it's another character in this film. It's really adds a sense, like when you need to feel that tension or dread, it really helps with that. When you need to feel slightly off kilter, it helps with that. When you need to feel at home and warm, she manages to pull all that kind of stuff together really, really well. There's also the music. The music is fantastic. I loved the music in here. It really, really sets the tone in this film, and it's done by Michael Darren, who, again, not really a big portfolio of films in terms of what he's done the music for. So those three people in general are I'll say are the ones who really make this film work. It is a lot about how it feels, and then you add on top of that the acting as Maud and her twin sister Cleo, because obviously she sees visions of her sister, and she's playing both parts. We have Adelaide Clemens. Now, Adelaide Clemens has been in quite a few things. If you ever saw the television show Rectify, she's Tawny Talbot in that. Then there's a whole bunch of other things, but in terms of genre work, she was in the 2011 film Vampire, and then from 2012 she played Heather slash Alessa in Silent Hill Revelation. Yes, that's the one I'm talking about. She's the main character here. And I thought she did a bang-up job. Now, I guess, for every leading lady, you gotta have a kind of similar male counterpart, and for that, in this film, we've got Alex Russell, who is no stranger to genre films. In 2013, he was in that Carrie movie. Yeah, you know the one. But before that, he was Matt Garrity in Chronicle. That some people really like the movie, some people don't. It is what it is. I mean, today's standards, it probably doesn't really. I think some people on YouTube could probably do Chronicle really, really easily themselves now, with the stuff that you can get on computers and such. But back when it was done, which wasn't too long ago, it was pretty neat looking, right? It was pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, there's other people in the film. Don't get me wrong; it's quite a large ensemble of cast here. But this film, I don't want to give too much away about it. See, this is, like I said, it's a psychological thriller. It's kind of surreal. It's kind of twisted. It's got the unexpected. We'll just say it's got the unexpected. And even from early on, you know that there's going to be unexpected. It's just that bizarre. So to see, when the unexpected happens, it's not that you're completely caught off guard, but at the same time, you're like, wow, okay, interesting. It's honestly, it is a very fresh, a very I really enjoyed the film. I'm not gonna lie. I left the theater thinking this was probably going to be the highlight of the festival for me. Honestly, it may seem weird, but I like. I'm trying to think. What was it? Shoot, it was a film. I don't know. I'm thinking there was another film kind of recently that it reminded me of, but this is the kind of film that I really gravitate toward. I like the slightly bizarre, slightly surreal. I love, just stuff that is not straightforward and your run-of-the-mill type things, right? Don't get me wrong. I still enjoy, your standard slashers and stuff like that. But when a film can keep you guessing, keep you, fill you with so many different feelings and get under your skin. That's what this film does. It really gets under your skin. And like I mentioned, the directing, the acting from the actors, the performances, the story itself, combined with the cinematography and the music, just all that whole package, just sort of, when it needs to, it gets in there and really just grinds you just the wrong way. Like you're in your happy place, but then you're just kind of off center. Like it's just those subtle little tweaks here, and then sometimes you're way off center, but sometimes it's just a little tinge here, and it was just so well done. If I had to give it a rating, it'd be like 4 out of 5. Like that. Honestly, I'm right up there. Why I don't own it yet, I don't even know if I don't know if I like. I want to own this movie. I hope. I don't know if it has distribution. There was no Q&A type thing with the where anybody asked that kind of question. So yeah, I'm guessing it's doing the festival circuit. and then we'll see. But if you can track down Rabbit, Rabbit, just like you would think, it's directed by Luke Shanahan, 2017, from Australia. It's got two girls on the movie poster. It's the same girl, right? It's the twins, in white in a forest. If you can track that film down, well, here's the thing. Do you like the films of like David Lynch? Do you like psychological thrillers? That's one of the things, right? Are you into M. Night Shyamalan, but you don't want it so polished, right? Like so Hollywood-esque, so packaged up nice and neat for a wide audience. If you'd like something a little bit pulled back from that, that still has that thriller aspect, that still has the twist and the turns and the but it's more raw. It's just I'm gonna ramble on saying the exact same things over and over and over again because A, I can't talk too much about the film itself and tell you what's going on in it because that'll give too much away, and B, I liked it so much that I can only think of so many different words, that mean the same thing, essentially, right? Oh man, yeah, Rabbit. Oh, yeah, it blew me away. I do not know that if I will really see anything quite up to par for me. Not necessarily for everybody, for me, at this festival. Now, I will say there are a few. I wouldn't say they're bad, but they're weird, and I do know people talked about them. There are some edits in this film, both sound wise and visual wise, that are very abrupt, very like staccato, like just switch. And I know they're done on purpose, and I know they're meant to be unnerving. A lot of people, that totally put them off. I know. I'm just listening to people leaving the theater. They were like, they didn't like the movie. They did not like the movie, and a lot of them commented about that. They just what was going on there? Why do that? It really didn't work for them. And agreed. I kind of agree with them. I don't think they were necessary. Well, I'll put it that way. I knew what they were trying to do. I got what they were trying to do. But I don't think they were necessary, and there could have been a different way of doing it. It could have gone another way, but it's... Yeah, for a film that's almost got a fairy tale aspect to it, when you start throwing in the abrupt changes, and it's meant to cut the flow. It's meant to. I get it. I understand it. I just, yeah, that would be my one. That's why I'm knocking off one. Like it would be a 5 otherwise, because I love the story. I love everything else about it. But there are the artistic choices. I'll call them that, artistic choices, that I didn't particularly care much for. And they do have to do with the editing and the sound, and the way they're used to, whatever you want to call it, manipulate the images, the scenes, the transitions, whatever you want to call them. Yeah. It's not bad. I just didn't think they were good. Well, no, it did take me back. It did take me back. So I'm not gonna say they're bad. I just think they leave something to be desired. That's what I'll say. One other thing that I could say, kind of is a problem with the film, but isn't a problem with the film, is the number of like subplots going on. Like I said, there's so much stuff going on. There's so many twists and turns, and you maybe as a viewer be left wanting, because a lot of these things just aren't resolved whatsoever. There are things that questions that will come up, things that you may want to know the answer to, but you will never get the answer to them. And unfortunately, and I'm one of them, I do like, as much as people say, like, oh, you don't need to have everything told to you. I do like to have, I'm one of those people who likes a good beginning and an end. And the film does have a beginning and the end, but there's all these subplots. It's kind of like playing an open world video game, and you start a quest, and then as you're doing this quest, you run into somebody else and start another side quest. Well, I'm the guy who's like, but I gotta finish that other quest, and you may never come back to it. Some games, it makes it so that you can't go back to it if you accept to go on the side quest type thing, and you could end up being like 13 side quests later and realize there's 8 quests that you never actually got to finish because you can't go back to them, right? Like, there's no way to go back. Even though it's an open world, those quests have essentially dissolved because of other stuff that has happened in the game. So I'm the kind of person who literally wants to finish everything I run into. I want to collect all the stuff, I just want to have some kind of resolution, right? Like, I need everything put into the nice little package so I have it and I can put it on the shelf, and I've done it all. There was no stone left unturned. So this film did have a lot of moments where I'm just like, I would have liked to have known what happened there, or I would have liked to have known what that came, why that happened, or where that was coming from, or where it was going, or where it went. So yeah, there is some of that going on in this film. So if you're like me, that may bug you a little bit, but at the same time, I also enjoyed it. I know, it's weird. I'm weird. What are you gonna do? But yeah, I don't think there's anything else I can say. There you go. Rabbit, 2017, Australian film. Check it out. If anything I just said made any sense or made you want to watch it. If not, I just hope I can find it again so I can watch it again, because I really, really want to. It's one of those films which probably could use multiple watches just to be able to find everything or understand stuff maybe you're not supposed to understand. I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching more 31 Days of Horror 2. Keep watching more videos soon. You know the drill. Comment down below if you've seen the film. Keep it spoiler free. If it, can you even get? You must. Yeah. Anyways, you know what I'm saying. You know the drill. Thanks for watching. Till next video. Take care. Have a good one.